It is Let's Talk Arts and Entertainment on WMAY, and this is State of the Arts. There's a lot going on around town and around the country. Lots of different things being announced, opening up. So to talk all about it is with me is Gus Gordon. How you doing, Gus?
Kevin, I'm great. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Things
Excellent.
are Yes, things are looking pretty good, I think. I hope, at least, I'll say. As
Right.
as there are some, the CDC just yesterday said if you're vaccinated, you probably don't need to wear a mask. There's
Keyword
still
probably.
keyword probably, as in places like here in Springfield, you're still going to have to wear it until phase 5. And of course, there's going to be certain places, maybe like planes and such, that you still have to wear it. But this is pretty welcome news and a pretty good sign of that things really are slowly but surely getting back to where they need to be.
Right. I think that is super news. And, you know, a lot of people have had their vaccinations, which is great. And this is just positive news that finally a change could be on the way. And it looks like, you know, things are going in the right direction. So yay for us. That's great.
Yes, absolutely. Yay for us. That is great. And I guess since that, a little bit on the subject there, we talked a bit last week about Broadway, how Broadway was starting to come
Right.
back and shows were falling. It looks like more shows are coming back and being announced. I think just today they announced that Little Shop of Horrors is coming back with Jeremy Jordan. So that'll
He is
be
coming
a lot of
back in
fun.
it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they've announced a lot of the shows, but they say casting TBA to see if some of the actors from, 14 months ago are still available and still interested. I think most of them probably are still available because what else has been going on?
Exactly.
But it's great to hear that some of those performers that, were in those shows get the chance to finish the run and get back to work.
Yes, exactly. And it'll be interesting to see because I know I wonder how when Music Man is going to go on because Sutton Foster is hopping over to London to do Anything
Right.
Goes again, taking over for Megan Mullally. So that'll be interesting.
Well, that's just for a limited summer run. I think I read about that yesterday too. And I think one of the best bits of casting in that is Robert Lindsay, who is playing Moonface in the London production. He was the original lead in Me and My Girl. And he is such an incredible entertainer that's an inspired bit of casting. So I think that'll be a big ticket in London when that goes on sale. But it's only for a short period of time. And then she comes back to the States and can do the Music Man.
All right. That's awesome. That is all right. I knew that she was going over to do Anything Goes, but I didn't know everything that was going along with it. So that is really cool. Also, I guess just keeping on the subject of the Music Man there, the Legacy Theater is doing, they postponed their production of the Music Man to this summer, and they're going on with it. They recently announced that they have they've filled in some parts and even some staff members that weren't able to make it back, and they are planning to go on with the show in June, actually in July. I mean, they're planning to go on in July with the show, and that's pretty exciting news as well.
It is. They'll be the first one in the area to try that, so good for them. And July, everything should be okay. We should be in phase 5 by that time. So someone has to be the first, and more power to them.
Yes, so that sounds like it'll be very good. Another thing that is coming back, and this is very recent news, about probably just today it came down, or I guess I should say is coming down, basically, that the Levitt Amp series, outdoor concert series, is coming back to downtown Springfield. It is coming back on June 3rd, and it's going to run through August 5th, and that is every Thursday night on the downtown Y block. And several bands are going to be coming in, local favorites such as the Deep Hollow and Debbie Ross, and some regional acts such as the New Orleans Jazz Ramblers, Tito Puente Jr. So those are a couple of the groups and people coming through the Levitt Amp. That was a lot of fun. A couple years back, went to that, of course, and they didn't do it last year. But that's another great free performances you will be able to see, and good performances, and it's something to do downtown as well. It's awesome.
It is so nice to have things happening back in downtown, and that's an outdoor event. So I think that I think, having said that, I think things will be a lot easier with an outside event to get started with. And, Sheila Walk is the head of the Arts Council. She's the interim executive director, although she's been in there for a little bit more than a couple of years. So I think she's just the executive director. But she does a great job, and she has put so much effort into this and thought into this. And I know she's thrilled that it's coming back this summer. And it's great to have something to do downtown at night on a Thursday night.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. Always a good time seeing everybody there, and of course, all sorts of activities you can do downtown there as well. So also there's a couple things coming up this weekend that you'll be able to partake in tonight. Actually, this Friday night, as we're taping this, is open mic night. We've been talking a bit about Grateful Coffee Company. Brandon and his wife Kana started their coffee company, and they are starting to do a couple of open events. Some are maybe karaoke events, but this one is an open stand-up night, and they are doing that. That is tonight at 7:00. You will be able to go there, watch some comedy, and maybe try your hand at some as well.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm not. No, I mean, I can't.
I would go and watch, but I'm not going to get up there. That would terrify me.
I would have to I mean, I can. It's one thing, doing interviews and doing even doing shows and such, but it's a tough thing. It really is. It's right. I know people who do it and do it well, and it's great. And it's like you said, man, it's not one of my strong suits, I don't think.
If you give me words, I can say them, and I can say them in a funny way, but just get up there and improvise and be funny. That's not in my wheelhouse, so I'll let the experts do that.
Yes, absolutely. That is tonight at 7. You can go get some coffee and a snack and enjoy a night of laughter with some local comedians. And also coming up this weekend, tomorrow is the day to audition for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, being put on by Active Creative Teen Theater. They also, I believe, have added another audition slot as well. But as we said, such a fun musical, a great one to do, and that is going to be another in-person show that they're putting that on. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people will be out there to try out for it, and it is such a fun show. Captures the spirit of the Peanuts and has great songs, happiness, supper time. I mean, such a fun show. And so that if you know somebody who is a little younger, or you were a little younger and you want to try out for it, I'm sure there's still some spaces open, but they're probably filling up pretty fast for auditions for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Right. If they're already adding spots, that's a good sign that they have a lot of interest in that show. I said something last time we met, and I need to correct it.
Okay.
It's not my fault. I will say that in advance. It's not my fault. But I mentioned that Peanuts had shown up in the SJR, in the State Journal Register, in the Sunday Comics again. Yeah. And I thought that was perfect timing. Well, I picked it up the next Sunday, and it wasn't there. So it was a 1 week it just popped in there and then popped back out again. I have no idea what's going on with that, but I thought, hey, this is great. I can announce this, but it was only a one-shot deal. I don't know what happened. If they gave us the newspaper from some other town, maybe, I don't know. Oh. If they had more space that issue and they just stuck in another comic strip, I don't know. But it's not a regular feature, apparently.
No, that's all right. Well, if you want your fix of the Peanuts, you'll be able to see A Good Man, Charlie Brown. You'll be able to see it in a couple of months, put on by the Active Creative Teen Theater troupe. So that is going to be a lot of fun. Also tomorrow, Pride Fest. You can that's going to be a great time. That is going to be virtual through UIS, through their performing arts, their studio theater. They're doing all sorts of different events there. There's a forum. Jim moderated a forum for them. Also, they're going to have the drag show. They had a couple different activities that you can be involved with, and that is from 1 to 7. Pride Fest virtually online. And another thing that usually is done outside, but this year is just being celebrated virtually, but still a good time, and it's still a good way to fun way to celebrate.
Yeah. We didn't know 2 or 3 months ago that things would be opening up right about now. We thought maybe it would, but a lot of people had to be careful about scheduling things. And But it's still good news that the event will go on. Watching it online will be just as fun, or almost as fun as live. But then knowing that the next time around, people can be out there on the streets and have fun again. It's a good sign of things to come.
It is, absolutely. I definitely think so. We did talk a little bit at the beginning about about the CDC's guidance and some of Broadway
Sure.
opening back up. I also want to touch on some news that that has a lot of people talking, probably all over the place, especially in the Springfield theater community, as we are very accustomed to the musical Annie. A lot of people know it. A lot of people have seen it. And NBC announced that for their holiday season, they're bringing back a live musical of Annie. Annie's been done a couple of times on film, but they're doing it as a live musical. So it'll be interesting to see if they follow the script exactly, or if, like the other 3 movie versions, they're going to say, well, we can add a song here, we can cut a couple things here, and so it'll be interesting to see. And people have their opinions about Annie. I certainly do, but I still like the show a lot. I mean, I've done it twice. I know you've done it a couple of times, and it's a fun show. And I think people say what they want about it, but then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is a fun show. I like it.
That's the bad thing about overexposure.
Yeah,
is that it's been seen too many times in too many settings, too many junior highs or high schools or community theaters or countless tours that come through, but if you go back in time to 1977, I think it was, when it opened on Broadway, it was a great show. It's really well written. It has a great score. It has a lot of heart to it. People forget that because they've been overwhelmed by it. But there's a good show there. There's a good show right at the center of that. And I feel sad when people say, oh, it's schmaltzy, oh, it's terrible. I think it's great.
Oh, no,
and you know what? Even if some people do think it's corny, it still sells really, really well.
Yes, it does. It does.
The bottom line.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, and it is one of those things. I mean, I feel like this way about certain things. It's you can say, because I've seen people say on they're like, oh, this is like the worst musical ever. I'm like, no, not objectively, probably not, but but it's one of those things where it's like it's a fun show. People always have fun when they're sitting in the audience watching that.
Right.
And everybody knows Tomorrow, and everybody taps their feet to the songs Hard Knock Life and everything. So I think it'll be fun. I definitely think it's going to be very popular, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, because some of the live musicals, some of them have been really good. The Wiz was amazing. I finally got around to watching, because I didn't watch it when it premiered, but I watched The Wiz live, like I think a month or 2 ago, and it's really good. But then there's other ones, and we discussed a little bit off air, but NBC's Peter Pan was not the best, and so you never know. But
they always have the best intentions, but that is really, really hard. And unlike a lot of folks, I thought the Carrie Underwood's Sound of Music was fine. It wasn't anything near the movie, but it was a nice bit of entertainment. And she is undeniably a talented performer. I don't know if she was the best person for that role necessarily, but I enjoyed her performance. And, Peter Pan had its couple of bright spots, I guess. But, we were both talking about Christopher Walken, how good he might have been.
Oh, yes.
He just didn't seem quite up to it. On the night of the broadcast, but so they are hit and miss. And what I really liked, it was on Fox, it was the Grease Live. Grease is another show like Annie that people either love it or hate it, but it's undeniably popular and undeniably successful. But that show, regardless of the casting, regardless of the content, I admired that production because technically it went off without a hitch.
Oh yeah.
And it was even raining for portions of it outside, and they were outdoors. They did a great, great producing job and directing job. They really had it well planned. Now, you can argue about the actors and the singing and all of that, but I'm just saying from the technical side, it was really well done, and it was very successful. So these things are fun to watch. It gets people back in front of the TV on the night of the performance, and you get strong opinions, and you can certainly get on Facebook or Twitter and share those strong opinions. But I think it's fun, and I'm glad they're doing it, even if not every single one is a home run.
Oh, sure, of course. I watched all of Peter Pan and was, chatting with people during it. So it was still, we're still watching it. And that was right after I did Peter Pan. So I was trying to be very, critical of it. But it's one of the, yeah, it's always fun. It's cool because, doing musicals live on television is something that has been going on probably about as long as television has been on, putting
Oh, you're right.
either plays or musicals on. So it's cool that they're even doing those still. So that's a lot of fun. So look out for that. But make sure that you are in tune to everything going on this weekend. That is the auditions for Charlie Brown tomorrow. If you have not signed up yet, also open mic night is tonight. Pride Fest is tomorrow, and be on the lookout. In just a month, you'll be able to go to the Levitt Amp concert series, which is going to be a great time.
Right, outdoors, downtown
Outdoors.
Springfield at the Y Block on Thursday night. Starts around 7, I think, most nights. But just a fun event and so nice. Charlie Brown will be performed by the ACTT, Active Creative Teen Theater, which is an offshoot of the Springfield Theater Center. But it'll be performed here at the Hoagland, live and in person, July 30th, 31st, and August 1st. So you get to see a show indoors again, and that'll be a nice welcome return.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. Gus, thank you so much for joining me. We will do this again next time. And also, have a happy birthday. It was your birthday yesterday.
Had a great day. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got a bunch of fun stuff and got to spend time with my family, so that was awesome.
Good. Well, that's wonderful. Well, hope you had a good day. Happy birthday, and I will see you next time.
Okay.
Let's talk arts and entertainment on WMAY.